I've got to say, Sony's been pretty steady with the output of updates and things like that when it comes to the PlayStation 5. Maybe even more so than the PlayStation 4 saw back in the day. And who's going to complain about it? Not me, that's for sure. And I got to say, another thing is they've actually been implementing things that make the console better, which goes a long way. Who wants a bunch of things that absolutely aren't helping, you know? And I think the fact of the matter is, these are obviously helping quite a bit, and you know, I feel like that's going to be something that's really well done for the future in terms of being able to give us features, and even including situations where it can improve performance and things like that. So I do want to get into this because I feel like this is going to be a pretty good video, which would be a change of pace for me because my videos all suck. Am I right, or am I right? Or am I right? All right. So anyway, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. You're amazing. And I want to take the time out to say that I am Crapgamer, and this is Crapgamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you guys would be so kind just to leave me a like. That's all I really ask for. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people think one thing or the other, but at the same time, just asking for a like and I'm giving you guys, you know, some entertainment, whether you're laughing at me or with me. I feel like I'm still giving you guys some entertainment value, and hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. So thank you guys. Now, Sony has released a new system update and an improved system performance, among other things. They've rolled out a PlayStation 5 system update, improving the console's system performance. The new update for Sony's next-gen console weighs in at roughly 900 megabytes and appears to be a minor one, although release notes are almost non-existent and only mentions improved system performance. Not a lot of details about the contents of the new system update have been shared, although we're pretty sure it packs some under-the-hood changes. It improves system performance. It's available, obviously, now, and you can get it, as you might know. Sony released this next-gen console back in November of last year. Ever since, the console has been quite hard to get by, you know, obviously all the shortages and stuff like that and high demand. Last month, Sony introduced its big PlayStation 5 system update with the M.2 solid-state drive support, allowing users to expand the console's system storage. In addition, this major firmware update enabled 3D audio support for TV speakers, alongside various other new additions and changes. So yeah, this is really doing something pretty much to be expected. And of course, back in July, Sony announced that they've sold over 10 million PS5 consoles as of July 18th, thereby becoming the fastest selling PlayStation console to date. And Sony had this to say about that: "I can't express enough the deep gratitude we feel for our passionate community of PlayStation fans who embrace the PlayStation 5 and the world-class development and publishing partners who bring such incredible gaming experiences to our platforms," according to Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now, while PlayStation 5 has reached more households faster than any of our previous consoles, we still have a lot of work ahead of us as demand for PlayStation 5 continues to outstrip supply. I want gamers to know that while we continue to face unique challenges throughout the world that affect our industry and many others, improving inventory levels remains a top priority for Sony. Now, the interesting thing here is that we're getting this update that's improving things. There's also heavily implemented that we're going to be getting an update, or at least a beta, for things like VRR coming to the PlayStation 5 very soon, and possibly 1440p support, which is something that a lot of fans have been asking for, you know, for a lot of people. So yeah, I think that that's going to be something that we're going to be getting relatively soon. Now, as far as some very interesting bits of news and things like that, one of the more interesting things that happened with what happened with the Jim Ryan interview, or excuse me, the Sean Layden interview that Persona Speaks and Jay Barry actually had, was you get a whole lot of inside information about the inner workings of PlayStation. Now, does PlayStation still work like that? You would probably think that it would still be working somewhat like that. At the very least, it would be something pretty interesting to kind of talk about, and an interesting talking point. So for me personally, I feel like this is something that obviously a lot of people are going to be speculating on, and that is how, when a console launches, how long before they start planning the next one. And I think that that's going to be something, you know, that a lot of people, you know, kind of absolutely sort of have in the back of their heads, right? When you talk about, hey, you know, how long before you actually start planning your next console. And, you know, it's very interesting because according to Sean Layden, in that they started planning for the PlayStation 5 the day after the PlayStation 4 shipped. So he probably had a big hand in that, even though he did step down years later. But he probably definitely had a pretty big hand in that. And you also have to figure that, you know, as just a person that knows the inside of the business, knows that probably, even though there's a lot of hyperbole where Sony is concerned, where they're like, we don't even know if there is going to be a next one. I mean, that's something that they literally said. But the funny thing is that we probably can expect that they've already started going down that rabbit hole to designing something because this one's so successful. And I absolutely love that. I think that it's great that, you know, we're seeing that actually happening, and the fact that Sean Layden's out there talking about that, saying, hey, you know what, we start planning for these things pretty quickly after the other ones launch. And I would imagine that Microsoft is the same way. It's not something that you can just kind of willy-nilly get into. You have to be talking to your partners. You have to kind of get that way about you where you're like, hey, well, what are you guys going to do? Well, we're going to, you know, look to do this, that, or the other thing. And I think that's where this kind of comes in. I'm actually, you know what, I'm pretty glad, to be honest with you, and I'm just being real, I'm pretty glad that both console makers, you know, and honestly, I think that it's a very interesting thing that, you know, these people are able to do this and able to kind of get the type of tech that they're into there now, right? Okay, so the interesting situation, what I mean by that is, after the debacle that was the Xbox One and the PS4, which were, be honest, both highly underpowered machines, especially compared to when the Xbox 360 and the PS3 launched. Now, think about this. Like, and I'm not a PC guy. I hate PC gaming, and I don't, just in general, it kind of bugs me, and it's not my thing. But I kind of want to point out that back then, in 2006, 2007, or 2005, 2006, excuse me, those consoles were more powerful than average PCs. Like, that was something to really, you know, draw people into the... And we had a console space that ended up selling incredibly well, okay? Now, when you look at the Xbox One and PS4, yeah, the PS4 sold incredibly well, but that was really a good price point, great games, and then Microsoft shot themselves in the foot. But Microsoft, in particular, with really, really bad hardware in terms of what it could do, to focus on stuff like Kinect, I thought that was a really bad thing, and that really kind of taught them, and they learned their lesson. Kinda, like, you almost get the feeling that maybe Microsoft only would have... Could you imagine if Microsoft would have only released a Series S and released that with, you know, a disc version and a non-disc version? I mean, that to me is something like maybe they would have done if they weren't aware that people really care about, like, the power narrative and things like that. So, yeah, it is very interesting to see how these things kind of work out. But, yeah, great system update today. I didn't mean to go kind of off track there. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Always good to get these updates. Let me know what you think. I'm going to link this, of course. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crapgamer 'em up. Crapgamer out.